So your character, Jonathan, is new. How does he fit into the story?
The hair.
Yeah, the hair,
right.
he's kind of scruffy.
All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
In the glittering world of Hollywood, not all fairy tales have a happy ending. Disney's much-anticipated live-action Snow White was supposed to be a magical reimagining of a beloved classic, but behind the scenes, it became a battleground of creative differences, personal clashes, and political tension. This is the story of a production plagued by chaos, controversy, and the fallout that shook both Disney, the lead actress, Rachel Zegler.
Bob, don't you think messages like this is why Disney keeps having box office flops?
It's too stressful, and frankly, I do not have the nerve.
The red carpet had been rolled out, the cameras were ready. Disney was about to debut its latest live-action remake of a beloved classic, Snow White. The stakes were high, and the excitement was palpable. After all, Disney's recent streak of live-action remakes had been successful, from Beauty and the Beast to Aladdin. The company seemed to have found a winning formula, but Snow White was different. It wasn't just a remake, it was a reimagining, a rebranding of a fairy tale to reflect modern sensibilities.
That's how this thing works in the world. If you talk it's gonna come back, I tell my kids.
At the heart of this ambitious project was Rachel Zegler, cast in the iconic role of Snow White. But as the production progressed, tensions began to rise. And what was once an exciting opportunity slowly descended into chaos. This wasn't just a film about a young girl finding love and happiness. It became a production defined by behind-the-scenes drama, political controversies, and a PR nightmare.
Our rights are on the line, folks.
The right to buy Cosby sweaters?
From the very beginning, the Snow White production seemed to be marked by internal conflict. What should have been a seamless collaboration between cast and crew quickly turned into a series of escalating tensions. The problems started small. Scheduling issues, creative differences, but they soon snowballed. At the center of it all was Rachel Zegler, whose casting had been heralded as a bold and progressive choice. After all, she wasn't just an actress, she was a representation of a new era of inclusivity in Hollywood.
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends.
But Zegler's outspoken nature soon became a double-edged sword. Her comments about Snow White being reimagined to reflect modern values sparked a backlash from traditional fans who felt that the integrity of the original story was being compromised. These fans didn't just disagree with the new direction. They felt alienated by Zegler's bold assertions. Her outspoken stance on everything from gender representation to racial inclusion created waves that many were not prepared for. Meanwhile, her co-star, who was supposed to be her partner in bringing this fairy tale to life, wasn't exactly on the same page. Rumors started circulating about creative disagreements between Zegler and the rest of the cast. These rumors intensified when a behind-the-scenes video was leaked. The footage showed Zegler's co-star visibly frustrated and openly critical of her involvement in the production.
This really is an overspending spree by Disney CEO Bob Iger, and nobody has anybody else to blame but Bob Iger himself. Everyone should blame Bob Iger. It's all his fault when it comes to the budget, the metrics involved in this budget for Snow White.
In the video, Zegler's co-star accused her of fueling controversy, stating that her political commentary and creative decisions were putting the film's production at risk. The public nature of the leaked video only escalated the tension, and the divide between the cast grew more apparent with each passing day. The film was no longer just about Snow White, it had become a reflection of the battles taking place off-screen.
The fact that it's about the humanity and it's about nature as well, and it's a beautiful story about an amazing girl who wants to find the true self of hers.
It didn't take long for the chaos on set to translate into a full-blown PR crisis. Zegler's comments about modernizing Snow White, particularly her remarks on the character not needing a prince, alienated large portions of the movie's fan base. Longtime fans of the 1937 classic felt that Zegler's version of Snow White was not the one they had grown up with, and they were vocal about it. Zegler, in turn, found herself in a public relations bind. The more she spoke out about the changes being made to the film, the more it felt like she was digging herself deeper into a hole.
Dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
But it wasn't just the fans that Zegler had to worry about. The criticism from her co-star, combined with the leaked video, put her in an even more difficult position now. She was not only facing backlash from audiences, but also dealing with the fallout of a fractured production. As the star of the film, Zegler's every move was under a microscope. Her remarks were scrutinized, her actions were analyzed, and her every decision seemed to contribute to the growing controversy surrounding the movie. And yet, despite all of this, Zegler remained resolute. She defended her vision for the character of Snow White, asserting that the film was trying to make a statement about modern values and representation. She felt that this was her opportunity to be part of something bigger than herself, something that would change the way fairy tales were told. But the more she defended her stance, the more divided the public became.
I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years.
As the release date for Snow White neared, Disney executives were hoping for a smooth debut. The film had been heavily marketed and early trailers showed promise. But the anticipation quickly turned to disappointment. The film's opening weekend was a disaster. Box office numbers were far below expectations, and major theater chains began pulling the film from their schedules after just a few days. This wasn't just a poor opening, it was a full-blown box office flop. The reasons for the film's failure were numerous. Critics and audiences alike blamed the film's lackluster script, its disjointed tone, and the controversy surrounding the cast. But the biggest problem, according to many, was the growing public animosity between Zegler and the rest of the production team. What should have been a joyful, family-friendly film had become a political battleground, and that didn't sit well with many viewers. In the wake of the film's failure, Zegler's career took a hit. She had been cast as the new face of Snow White, but now she found herself the center of controversy. While some praised her for standing firm in her beliefs, others criticized her for alienating fans and creating a hostile work environment. The damage to her public image was done.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious.
Disney too was feeling the heat. The Snow White disaster was more than just a box office failure. It was a brand nightmare. The company, known for its family-friendly image, was now caught in the crossfire of a cultural war. Executives scrambled to manage the fallout, and rumors began circulating that Disney was reconsidering its approach to politically charged productions in the future. The company had built its empire on fairy tales, magic, and happy endings. But with Snow White failing both commercially and critically, Disney now found itself in uncharted waters. The film's failure wasn't just a loss of revenue, it was a blow to the brand itself. Disney's family-friendly reputation was being called into question. Executives feared the long-term implications of this controversy.
I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again.
As the dust settled, speculation ran wild about the future of Snow White. Was Disney going to cancel the franchise before it even really began? Would they reconsider the direction of their future? Live-action remakes? And what about Rachel Zegler? Would she be able to recover from the PR disaster that had marred her career? For Zegler, the path ahead was uncertain. Despite her talent, her outspoken nature had made her a polarizing figure. Some wondered whether she could recover from the damage caused by the Snow White debacle, or if this would mark the beginning of the end of her Hollywood career. Disney, on the other hand, would have to take a long, hard look at how to approach politically charged productions moving forward. The controversy surrounding Snow White served as a cautionary tale for the company. In an era where social media and public opinion can make or break a career, Disney was learning the hard way that modernizing classic stories comes with risks.
Yeah, because there's nothing more effective than 19-year-olds educating the rest of the voting public while yelling, "Okay, boomer."
In the end, the story of Snow White may have started with magic, but it ended with a cautionary tale about the dangers of mixing politics with entertainment. As for Rachel Zegler, she may have been the star of the show, but her career will forever be marked by the controversy surrounding her role. Whether she can bounce back from this PR crisis remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, Snow White will never be the same.